As you already know, we will discuss another architecture that has some complex architecture with respect to your VPC. Okay, so now let us, where is this? Okay, so first what we need to create, we'll start everything starting from basic again. So first what we're doing, first we'll create a VPC. So what is my VPC name? My VPC name is, let's say this is my new VPC or something. Name of my VPC is new VPC. And what is the CIDR range for my VPC? I'll give it a CIDR range as 10.0.0.0/16. So I'm creating how many IP addresses? I'm creating 65,000 IP addresses for my. Hello?
50,000 అంతే.
Divya. Yeah, no problem. So now we are creating a new VPC. Once your VPC is created, what is the next step? We need to create a public subnet. So I'm creating one public subnet. What is the name of my public subnet? Let me write it down. This is my public subnet, right? What is the name of my public subnet? I'll call it as new public. I'll just say new to everything. New public. And again, we'll create what is the CIDR range for my public subnet. Let's say 10.0.0.0/20. I'm assigning how many IP addresses? 4096 IP addresses. From where? From these IP addresses, 65,000 IP addresses we are creating. From these 65,000 IP addresses, I'm assigning some 4,000 IP addresses to my public subnet. That is what I'm doing. Okay. So what is that? 20. Public subnet is created. Now what I'm trying to do, again, we'll create our private subnet. Let me change the color. Something or something. Okay. Now we'll create one private subnet here. What is a private subnet name? New private. New private. And what is the CIDR range for this private? I'll say 10.0.10.0/ again 20. Again, from these 65,000 IP addresses, 4,000 IP addresses I'm assigning to my new private subnet. So let us create this first. Before that, like, I need one help from you guys. Anybody want to share your AWS credentials here, like to my WhatsApp? Because something wrong with my AWS account. I don't know why. EC2 instance is not getting created. So some credentials are not getting saved. I don't know what is happening. If anybody interested, you can share. Otherwise, I'll see how it goes. Anyone? Okay, no problem. So just opening a new tab, VPC, because it's literally not working. So that's why. So first, what do you need to do? First, you need to create a VPC. Create VPC, VPC only. What is the name of my VPC? New VPC. Okay, IPv4 block. What is the block? 10.0.0.0/16. We have created. And just come down and create VPC. Done. A VPC is created. Next, what is the stage? VPC is created. Next, what we need to do? We need to create two subnets. First one is public subnet. Okay. Come to subnets here. Just click on create subnet. And which VPC? I want to create under new VPC. Okay. Now, what is the name of my subnet? New public subnet. First, I'm creating a public subnet, new public. Under which zone I'm creating? I'm creating under 1A. Okay. And this is the CIDR block for your VPC. And out of that, how many addresses I wanted to create for my public subnet? I wanted to assign 4,000 IP addresses. So 20. Okay. Now just come down and create subnet. Your public subnet is created. Now what I need to do, I need to create private subnet. Just same, repeat the process, new VPC. What is that? New private. Okay. What is the availability zone? 1A. 10.0.10.0/20. So 4,000 IP addresses are again assigned from your 65,000 IP addresses. Now just come down and create subnet. Okay, your there is an overlap. Huh? Okay. See, there is an overlap between your existing subnet. That is, we have already created my public subnet, and again we are creating a private subnet. Here, there is an overlap between those two IP addresses. So you just change this any value. I'll say 825 or something. Does it works? Yes, it is working. Okay, your private subnet is also created. Now, let me change this. Come here. What is instead of 10, we have given 25 here. Correct? So your public subnet and private subnet is created. What is the next step? Anyone? Hello?
Route table.
Yeah. First, let us create a internet gateway. Next step. First, create internet gateway. IGW. Oh, we have already one now. Created. Okay. It has already attached. I forgot to delete this. It is chargeable, sir. Once you are done with your practice, please delete these things. Okay. Now again, I'm creating a new internet gateway, new IGW is created, and create internet gateway. My internet gateway is created. Once it is created, what I need to do? I need to attach this to my VPC, right? Attach to VPC. Which VPC I wanted to attach? New VPC, and attach internet gateway. Done. Now, if you come to this diagram, what I'm doing? I've created one IGW here. One second, yes. Yeah. So we have created one IGW here, right? And I want some space here. Let me copy paste the same. Okay, now this is fine. Okay, now we have successfully created IGW as well, correct? So this is my, This is my IGW. This is also created and we successfully attached it to your VPC. Next, what I need to do, this is where my IGW is. IGW. And next, what is the thing I need to do? This is where your internet is, right? So first, we need to create one routing table. Routing table between your public subnet and your internet gateway, right? So first come here, go to routing tables, create route table, and this is my new routing table for which subnet? This is a routing table for my public subnet. Please remember. Okay. New new public routing table RT. And under which VPC I'm creating? I'm creating under new VPC, right? So just come here, click on routing table. Routing table is created now. Okay. So here if you come, new public routing table is created. Once your routing table is created, what is the next thing, sir? In routing table, what you need to do? In routing table, there are two options. One is routes and another one is subnet association. Okay. So you need to configure those things. So click on your routing table and come down. Here you can able to see routes. First go to routes and just come down here, edit routes. Can you able to see this here? Let me track this. See, edit routes. Just click on that. And here you need to add route. Okay. Add route. See, if the internet, what do you mean by 0.0.0.0/0? That that means if the request is coming from the internet, where it should go? It should go to your internet gateway. That is what you are configuring here. 0.0.0.0/0 represents your internet. All the IP addresses from the internet. Okay. From if it is coming from the internet, where it should go? First, it should come to your internet gateway. That is what I'm doing here. First, from this line, just click on internet gateway. And which internet gateway? Once you click on this internet gateway, whatever the internet gateway that you have created, which is listed here. Okay, select that and save changes. This is done. Now what we did, we have successfully established a connection between your internet and IGW. Right? Now what do you need to do? What is the next step, sir? Hello? Between your internet gateway and your routing table. This is what you did. Right? Now you need to establish a connection between your routing table and your EC2 instance. That is what. Sorry. Hello?
Sorry.
Yeah, no. Yeah, now you need to establish a connection between your routing table and your public subnet. For doing that, just come to your routing table, and here you have the option known as beside your routes, you have option known as subnet association. Please click on that, edit subnet association. Okay. Now, to which, whenever the request is coming from your internet, the request must be routed to which subnet, whether to the public subnet or to the private subnet. If the request is coming from internet, then it must obviously route to your public subnet. Just select that subnet name. I'm routing to public subnet and save association. That's it. Okay, it has saved. Now what we did, we established this connection as well. This is not a one-way connection. It is a two-way connection. Even I can also send a request from my EC2 instance, or somebody else from the internet can also connect to my EC2 instance. Okay, that is also fine. So what is the next thing here? We have successfully created this IGW routing table. Public subnet entire architecture is ready. Now we should come to your private the private subnet, right? Now let us create the private subnet again. So first, what you need to create? First, you need to create, and here, what is this? Here you will get a public IP, and you will also receive a private IP when I create an EC2 instance, right? So that only because you are having a public IP to your EC2 instance, you from this server can able to connect to the internet, or somebody else from the internet can be able to connect to your EC2 instance. This is because of only your public IP is assigned to this machine. Okay. So now in private IP, what is first we need to create a private IP. Sorry, in private subnet, right? In private subnet, what is the next thing you should do? Next thing you should do is you need to create another thing known as NAT gateway. Just similar to your IGW, we need to create a NAT gateway. What this NAT gateway will do, it will convert your private IP into public IP. That means whenever you create a EC2 instance here, it will not be having your public IP address. It will just have a private IP. So if you have a private IP, you cannot connect to the internet, or somebody else from the internet cannot able to connect to your EC2 instance. So that is the difference between your public subnet and private subnets. Okay. So as you already know why we are doing this, we don't want to expose our application to the outside world or outside users. So we wanted to protect our information. There is a sensitive information existing here, right? So for that reason, we are not allowing anyone. In that case, now let's say I'm I have installed some application like DB name, or any application. Let's say I'm installing Apache 2 server here. Just for your example, I'm telling you. Okay, Apache 2 I'm installing. After some days, I wanted to update this version from one version to second version, first version to second version. I wanted to update. Now, if I wanted to update this version, where I should go again? I should again come back to the internet, correct? I don't have any other option. But for connecting to the internet, I don't have the public IP. I'm a private EC2 instance inside my private subnet. I don't have the public IP. So what I should do? I should get an public IP in order to go to the internet, right? So I cannot expose myself. I cannot give my private IP directly to the internet. That is, I don't want to provide my private IP directly to my internet. So that is what the problem is. So for that, what I can do, if you don't have the public IP, just assign a new public IP to you. How you are going to assign? You're going to assign it to through your NAT gateway. What is this NAT full form? Network Address Translator. The name itself suggests Network Address Translator. It translates your private IP to your public IP. How it is going to translate? Using your elastic IP to all your private IPs. It will assign an elastic IP. So elastic IP is a public IP. So using this public IP, it will take this public IP, then it will come to your internet, and complete whatever the task is assigned to you, and the same request will come back to your NAT gateway. That is what happens here. We'll discuss about NAT gateway in some time, but just to give you what does this NAT gateway will do. Okay, it converts from private IP to public IP. Okay, first let us create that. I'm not creating a connection here. Okay, where is this? Just come down. Can able to see NAT gateway, right? Nothing is there. Create NAT gateway, a new NAT. Okay, under which subnet? I wanted to create under private subnet, right? New private is created. It is public. See, here there is an option known as connectivity type. Select a connectivity type for the NAT gateway. That means whether you wanted to, sometimes if you wanted to go to the internet, then select the option public. If you select private, see here what it is telling you. Private NAT gate traffic cannot reach to the internet. You cannot even convert that private IP into public IP, even for some time or 1 or 2 times. If you select this private option, select it as a public. Okay. Now I told you it is converting private IP into public IP with the help of your elastic IP. Right. First click here, allocate elastic IP. I already explained you what is elastic IP. I think everybody know that, right? Just come down, create NAT gateway. Done. Your NAT gateway is created now. Where is this? See, your NAT gateway is created. What is the next step here? Now, we need to establish a connection between your NAT gateway, public subnet, and your NAT gateway and private subnet, right? Your new private. So first, let us establish a connection between these two. How we are going to establish? You are going to create a routing table, private routing table for your uh, for the instance which is present under your public private subnet. Okay, just come here, go to routing table, create a route table. We have already created public now. New public article. I'll create new private RT. My new private RT under which VPC, new VPC, and just come down, create routing table. Your routing table is created, right? Next, what is the processor? Here, I just created a routing table is created now, correct? If the routing table is created, then what you need to do? Here, there are two things. One is here, I'll just write it down, routing table here. There is no space. Where should I write? It's okay. Routing table is here. First, I've created NAT gateway and routing table is created. Now, what I need to do? I need to establish a connection between your public subnet to, private subnet to your routing table. So just come back where you should go to routes, edit routes, under which new private. First select that subnet, just select that routing table in whichever the thing you wanted to work. Come to routes, edit routes. Okay, add route. Now what should I add here? Please tell me. Hello. Okay, if see here what you should add, here you should add this is the range we created, right? These are the range of IP addresses we assign to your private subnet. That range you need to provide it here, 25.0/20. This one. If the request is coming from these IP addresses, whatever the IP addresses we created, if the request is coming from these IP addresses from your private EC2 instance, then where it should route? It should route to NAT gateway. That is what I'm telling here. Okay. So 10.0.25, 25.0/20. If the request is coming from private subnet, then where it should route? It should route to NAT gateway. Then what is the NAT gateway name? Just save changes. Done. Your routes are created. Okay. Where is this? New private. This is the one. Routes are created. Right. Next, what I need to do? Next, I need to establish a connection from my NAT to public subnet. That is what I wanted to do. Now this is done. Where is this? This part is done. Now what I need to do? I need to establish a connection from my NAT gateway to my public subnet. See, you might be having a doubt why we are establishing connection to your public subnet. Can somebody tell me?
Authentication.
See,
Internal connection.
yeah, that is the one reason. But at the same time, the reason why we are hosting our resources in private subnet, we wanted to secure these applications from public use or from the general use, correct? But at the same time, if you are converting uh, mm, your public private IP into public IP, and can I directly go and connect to my EC2 instance? Can I go directly go and connect to the internet? That means anybody from the internet can also connect, right? That is also possible. Instead of directly going to the internet, what I'm doing, I'm going through my public subnet. Whenever the request comes to your NAT gateway from your private EC2 instance, then what I need to do, you route the traffic to NAT. NAT will route the traffic to public subnet. Again, this will go like this through your IGW. Clear? That is why we are doing it here. And whenever you are doing subnet association, please remember this subnet association for your NAT gateway. Okay. What you need to select here is what you need to select here. Somebody. Okay. New private subnet association, edit subnet association. And now tell me which one I need to select. I need to select. See, you need to select your
New
public IP, new public subnet. When this NAT gateway must be attached to your public subnet. That is what you are doing here. Please select the public subnet. If you forgot, your entire architecture is gone. You need to create it from again basic. Okay. Please remember this. Just save association. You have created routes. Routes are added, right? This is also done. Everything is perfect. We have also created this one. Routes are done. Routes. See, I told you, right? There is some issue with my AWS account. I already added subnet association. Now, if I see, there is nothing is here. That's why I asked you for your this one. Okay, IDs. If I again check backs after some time, it is not there. New private subnet. Let's see. It is added. See, just now we have added for our private routing table, right? The no routes are available here. Nothing is saved. That is the reason. What to do? Somebody wants to share, or I can show you, but practically it won't work because subnet associations are not getting saved, even if I'm saving these things. If that is the case, no issues. Let me show you. Just follow the steps, whatever I'm showing you to you. You can easily do it. Okay. Now we have successfully created this entire VPC architecture. This is your architecture we have created. Okay. In real time, what they'll do, sir, they'll follow the exactly same thing I just showed you here for only one availability zone, 1A. What they'll do in real time, 1A, 1B, 1C. They'll start creating multiple public subnets and multiple private subnets. Same thing in different availability zones. This is what they'll do. We are doing it in a small scale. We just created one public subnet, one private subnet, and we have routed the traffic. Right? In real time, what they'll do, they'll be having multiple public subnets, multiple private subnets in different availability zones. Fine. So now let us create one EC2 instance. So I'm just removing this data here. Okay. So let us create one EC2 instance inside my public subnet. Okay. First, let us do that. Come down here, launch an EC2 instance, new public where I'm creating inside my public subnet, new public server or new public EC2. Okay, just Ubuntu, come down, select the key pair, and here you need to select your network details. Edit under which VPC I wanted to create. I wanted to create under new VPC. In new VPC, we have two subnets. One is new public and another one is new private. I wanted to create it under new public. That is done. See here, this is the very important step. Auto assign public IP. I told you, right? This one. Whenever you create an public subnet or private subnet, now it is asking you whether you want public IP to your EC2 instance or not. See, if you just write it as public and if you just write it as private, that doesn't mean nobody can connect from the internet because both the instances are having public IP and private IP, right? These are just the names. By name, you are just differentiating these things. But actually, what you should do for public EC2 instances, you should enable this public IP. You should do it, sir. For private IPs, you should disable this public IP. Okay. So that is what we are doing it here. Here, auto assign public IP. Now, where I'm creating my EC2 instance, I'm creating new public under public subnet. So that means, do I need a public IP? Yes. Just enable your public IP. Okay. Just come down and I'll add a security group rule here. If you want, you can also create your customized or security group here itself and select the existing one based on your need. I'm just adding a new thing here. We'll just add, oh, sorry, add security group rule because we are going to host one website, right? So it is added and launch EC2 instance. See, this button is not working now. So that's why. Let me refresh this. New public EC2 Ubuntu prepare laptop key edit new VPC public enable, and I'll just add one group role here, range 80 and launch instance. See, again it was not working.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Sir, I shared in WhatsApp.
Okay. Okay. I'll just see. Just give me a second. One second. Okay, just give me a second. I'm logging in. Oh, what is this? Sorry for your time to change. Okay. Some 3 or 4 credentials I got, so thank you so much. I am using anyone at okay, I'm just sharing my screen. Yeah, somebody is asking a question. Yeah, somebody asked the question, sir, even if we go through public subnet, IP addresses exposes to outside world. See, here what you need to understand, from my private subnet having private IP, right? It will just have a private IP. What I'm trying to do, from you with the help of NAT gateway, I'm converting it into public IP. See, whenever you send a request, first it will use its private IP to reach to NAT gateway. Private here. Once it reaches to NAT gateway, it will collect its public IP from the NAT gateway. Then it comes to your public subnet. Through public subnet and IGW, it will reach to your internet. That means nowhere you are exposing your private IP to internet. You are exposing just a public IP. Okay. And what is the important thing you need to remember? Whichever that is the specialty of NAT gateway. The question you asked is completely acceptable. This is because, see, yes, I am converting into public IP, private to public IP and sending it to outside world. That is fine. But if somebody knows my this public IP, NAT gateway's public IP, again, they can easily connect to my private subnets, correct? If you just know my public IP or elastic IP of my NAT gateway, you can easily you can able to connect to my NAT gateway. From that NAT gateway, you can able to connect to my private EC2 instance, right? See, that is where what your NAT will do is whenever you are sending a request from your elastic IP to your, let's say, 10.0.1, 10.0.1.2.3. This is the elastic IP for my private EC2 instance. This request will take this elastic IP and it will travel to your or go to your internet. Only if this request go to the internet, do whatever the things it want, and again while coming back, if it is coming with the same IP address, then only it will allow inside your NAT gateway. Otherwise, it will not allow you. That means even if you know this elastic IP, okay, you know the elastic IP, but what is the IP address of your laptop? You have a different IP, correct? So if you are sending a request from your, what is this? From internet, okay, again it will reach to till NAT gateway. But whether elastic IP is same for your laptop? No. So then it will not accept your request. Clear? So this is when whichever the request is going out from your NAT gateway, the same request should come back with the same elastic IP. Then only it will allow to go inside your private subnet. Otherwise, it will not allow. I just explained. This is because you asked. I wanted to explain this afterwards. Okay. Clear? Okay. So now let me again, we need to create everything from scratch, sir. Just give me 2 minutes. Quickly, I'll create. Okay. Just go to VPC. Public subnet is created. Let me create a private subnet. VPC. Oh, sorry. VPC. New private reference 10.0.25.0/20. Just created. Create subnet. That is fine. Just create internet gateway. create internet gateway, new IGW, create internet gateway, attach, and VPC attached. Okay, then come to routing table, new routing, new public routing table, which VPC, new VPC, create routing table, come back, routes, delete routes, add route. It is coming from internet, go to internet gateway, this is internet gateway, save changes. Subnet association, edit subnet association, should go to new public, save association, done. Now create come back, NAT gateway, create NAT gateway, subnet, with subnet, private subnet, public, allocate elastic IP, create NAT, is done. Create routing table. What is this? New private routing table. New VPC. Time. Just select that. Come back. Routes. Edit routes. It is coming from 10.0.25.0/20. Then go to NAT gateway. This is my NAT gateway. Save changes. Subnet association. New public. Save association. Done. Everything is created, sir, within 2 minutes. Fine. Now, what I need to do, I need to create one EC2 machine under my public subnet. Okay. So let us create one EC2 machine here. Launch instance. New VPC, new public, I'll call it as new public EC2 Ubuntu key pair. This key pair I don't have now. What I'll do, I'll just create a new key pair. Okay. Temp RSA, create new key pair. It is downloaded, and I selected that. Yes. Temp edit this one, and new VPC. I'm creating need to create a EC2 instance under my new VPC. Under which public subnet? New public subnet, right? And do you want to allocate a public IP? Yes. Just select that. Just come down. Do I want to add a security group? Yes, I wanted to add one value here, that is port number 80. Just come down, launch EC2 instance. What is that? CADR block, security group ID. What is this? Security group SS. Okay. Launch EC2 instance. Now, what we have done, here we have created successfully, we have created one EC2 instance inside my public subnet. Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll host one website here. Quickly we'll host one website and see whether it is working or not. Let me, what is the name? New, which is that new? Yeah, this is the one, right? Public IPs will let us connect. Instance is not in public subnet. Why it is happening like this? This is fine. It is added. Subnet association, which subnet association, complex association. Okay. Now again, I'm just connecting to this machine. Create connect. Okay, we are inside that EC2 machine in public subnet. Now what I need to do, sudo apt update. First, I'm just updating the repository. Okay. These things you already know, sir. In Linux, already in detail, I explained about is this package management, everything, right? Just we are doing it here. Just wait for a second. Yes, your apt is updated. Your Play Store is updated. Next, sudo apt install Apache 2. I'm installing Apache 2 web server. Yes. Okay. Your Apache 2 is installed. Once it is installed, what you need to do, cd/var/www/html. Just go to this path. We have one file known as index.html. What I'll do, I usually remove this file, rm index.html. Okay. Okay. Use the sudo privileges here. Sudo rm-r and index.html. The file has been deleted now. Okay, so these things you already know, sir. I'm quickly doing it. That's it. Vi again, come here, create vi index.html, add some content. What I'm adding, h1. This is VPC. This is my new VPC or something. Some content I'm adding. I'm writing the content of my website. Save that file. It is okay. It is why cannot open file writing now. Did I get something wrong? Okay. Ls. Okay. Sudo index dot sudo vi index dot html. Okay. Now add the content slash why it is not slash h1. This is my VPC. Right, just close this tag. Save. Now it is created. Once it is, your website is done, what is the next thing you need to do? Check whether your Apache server is running or not. Sudo service Apache 2, your service name and status. Okay, it is successfully running and it is hosting your website. Now, if you wanted to see your website, just come to your EC2 instance, copy the public IP address, copy, go to your internet, paste this and your port number 80. Just wait for a second. See, it has been hosted. You have successfully hosted a website. But the point here is whenever I take my public IP address and colon and click on enter, what happens? See, from your internet, this is where you're sitting, right? In your home, you're sitting. From my laptop, I'm hosting one website here in my AWS network. So when I click on this public IP first from my laptop, where it will come to your IGW. It will receive that request. Then through your routing table, will go to your EC2 instance. Then what is happening here? At your EC2 instance level, there is one person known as security guard, security group. He should accept that request, right? Only if he's accepting that request, then it will go inside, collect your website information at a port number 80, and you come back to your laptop. Whenever I do this, if I just copy paste my IP address :80, right? See, this is what happening within a millisecond. Clear? Now we have successfully created our this instance. The next, sir, everybody understood till here? Okay. So next thing here is we need to create some database or application server here, right? In your private EC2 instance. Now, the problem here is, let us see, I don't have any database or application server as of now. What I'll do, I'll just create another EC2 instance, but without a public IP address. Okay, so let us create that EC2 instance. So launch instance, new private EC2, select this one. What is the key pair? This is temp. See, please remember I'm using the temp key pair here. Please remember this. I'll come back why I'm telling you. See, what is this one? New VPC. Where I'm creating under new private subnet. I wanted to create under private subnet. So this is going to be my private EC2 server, right? So do I want public IP? No, I don't want. What I'm doing, I'm just disabling my private IP address. So just come down and launch an instance. Your instance is created under private subnet without a public IP. Okay. Now, so where is this instance? State is equal to running. Yeah. See, this is my private EC2 instance. Can you able to see? Here you'll not be having a public IPv4 address. You will just have your private address to this EC2 instance. Okay. Now, if I wanted to connect to this private EC2 instance, even if I wanted to do some SSH, see, it is clearly telling you no public IPv4 address is assigned and you cannot log into or do SSH to this EC2 instance. Right? Then what should I do, sir, at that point of time? That means what I'm trying to say is, again, we have created some, let us assume I have created some EC2 instance in my private subnet. Now, I just wanted to log into this EC2 server, private EC2 server, and just wanted to run sudo apt update. I just wanted to execute this command. If I execute this command, what it should do, it should go to routing table first, then NAT, then public subnet, then it should go to the internet, right? But can I directly able to log into this server, SSH-I using your private IP address? It is not possible. Using your private IP addresses, you cannot do SSH. This all you already know. If you want to do SSH, what you need? You need a public IP. But for my EC2 instance, for this EC2 instance, this one, I don't have the public IP. Then how you are going to solve this issue? Anyone? Understood the problem here? Here I'm hosting Apache server. I can able to log in because I'm having a public IP address. Here I cannot able to log in directly to this machine because I don't have the public IP address. Now, if I wanted to update something or do some database updation or application server updation, then It is not possible for me to directly log in through SSH, right? Then how are you going to solve this issue? Anyone? See, if you don't know the answer, it is simple. This mechanism, what you need to do is, first, I'm just changing the color. First, you do SSH from your laptop. You connect to your public EC2 instance. First, you connect to the public EC2 instance. Let me come down here without creating any mess. First, come to your public EC2 instance from your laptop. Once you are inside once you are logged into your public EC2 instance, let's say this is your private EC2 instance. Then what you need to do is, from this server, you need to jump to this server. You need to do SSH from your public EC2 server to your private EC2 server using your private IP. Please remember, you are doing SSH from public EC2 server to private EC2 server using your private IP. If you have gone through my classes, I clearly explained you what is private IP. Private IP we can only use for internal communication. Do you remember this word? What we are doing? We are again doing the internal communication. It is only between the EC2 instances we are doing the communication. So from one EC2 machine to another EC2 machine, we can able to do the login using your private IP. That is what I am doing. Okay. This mechanism of shifting or jumping from one public server to another private server, we call it as a jump server mechanism. Jump server, or also we call it as a bastion host, or in sometimes we also call it as a VPN. This is what your VPN will do is, right? Sir, everybody understood what I'm trying to say here?
Yes.
Yeah. See, this is what you need to do. See, now I explain you what is this. Just go back, figure it out how to do this. Okay. Just a two simple steps. Just a two simple steps, sir. There is nothing here. Okay. Just figure it out. Tomorrow we'll do it. Okay. Just I want you to explore something. If I'm telling everything, what you guys will do, right? Just go back, explore. What is this jump server? Jump server is nothing but from from public subnet, you are jumping it to private subnet. How you're jumping? Using its private IP. Correct? So this is what you're doing. How to do? You should figure it out today. You have 2 days time. We'll connect it on Monday, and I'll ask anyone. You should explain me how you're doing it. Okay? So then you can, once you logged into this private EC2 instance, then you can able to run sudo apt update. Then whenever you execute this command, how the flow goes? First, it should go to NAT gateway, collect its elastic IP, then through the public subnet, it has to go to IGW, then it has to reach to the internet. This is what happens. All right. Correct, guys? So first, if you wanted to update the EC2 instances inside your private subnet, first what you need to do, you need to use jump server or a bastion host from your public subnet to your private subnet, or private public EC2 instance to your private EC2 instance. This is what you need to do. That is just to update this diagram. What you do, you just jump from here to here internally. without reaching to the internet. From here, you're just jumping to this server. That is what you are doing. Clear? Guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's it for today. If you have any questions, I'm open for it.
No, understood.
Okay.
Hello, Suchit.
Yes, please.
Just one doubt, like when we are creating subnets, region should be same or different?
No. You can create in different regions or something like that, but always make sure. See, you can create as many subnets you want, but whenever you are creating public subnet and private subnet, this one, let me tell you this point. Whenever you're creating public subnet and private subnet, try to create both the subnets in the same availability zone. If you're creating 1A, in 1B, also you can create public subnet and private subnet. But you can also create public subnet in one availability zone and private subnet in one availability zone. While that is completely fine. But in some cases, you will get some error. While connecting to your from public to private, you will get this error, sir. So that's why I'll always try to create the resources here, but you can also create. There are no issues, and you can also we can also solve this error also. There is no issues. Since you are creating it for the first time, try to create it in a single availability zone, 1A, public and private in same availability zone. Done?
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? From anyone? Are you guys
If you don't
practicing?
mind, can you share the notes? I mean, like for VPC, you told that you have some
Yeah. See,
short
that
description
is,
notes quite helpful for us.
I'll share. Yes.
Okay,
You don't
Suchit.
need to go through any blogs or something like that, sir. I have a detailed notes. Just read that, go through that notes, and you are done. Okay, I'll share. But I
Okay,
need to create that document. I'll share, sir. Definitely.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. If there are no further questions, thank you. Bye. See you on Monday.